outside Pulse nightclub, all you can see and feel is love. Touching tribute starting overnight to honor and remember the 49 lives lost June 12, 2016. And their names will again be heard in just about an hour. A ceremony slated here at Lake Eola Park starting at 7 tonight. Rain is not keeping people away. Thank you so much for joining us on what is a very important day here in Central Florida. I'm Matt Austin.
And I'm Lisa Bell. All day we have been watching the crowds behind us build, and the crowds are starting to shift over to Lake Eola Park as we get ready for that special ceremony that is supposed to begin at 7 o'clock tonight. For much of the day, though, a lot of people have been gathering outside Pulse nightclub, where again 1 year ago today, 49 people lost their lives, 53 others were injured. News 6's Ginger Gadsden joins us now from the Pulse nightclub site. And Ginger, it really has been an emotional day there all day.
Yeah, it really has been an emotional day, Matt and Lisa, but you know, people are not forgetting, they're remembering, and they're turning out in droves, as you can see from the umbrellas behind me. And as you mentioned, 49 lives lost on this site a year ago today. But today's gathering wasn't just about remembering the lives lost here. It was also about remembering lives lost around the globe to violence. And I got to witness that firsthand today as I walked around the parking lot of Pulse all afternoon. People have been stopping by to paint personal messages on these small wooden stars here in the Pulse parking lot. Organizers hope to get 1,000 of these stars that can be boxed up and shipped to Manchester in an act of unity for a community affected by tragedy as well. And earlier today, the ceremony stayed pretty positive, but there was some sadness, as you might expect. The owner of Pulse, Barbara Poma, said her heart still breaks to know what was taken from this community.
I miss Pulse. I miss everything it stood for. I miss serving the LGBTQ+ community, our Latin community, in a way that only a gay bar can. I am grateful and comforted when I hear your memories and I see your pictures of the best times of your lives.
And the tributes coming in from all over. Governor Rick Scott paid his respect to the victims earlier today. President Donald Trump also took to Twitter with a photo of the 49 victims with a caption that said, "We will never forget the victims who lost their lives 1 year ago today." He used the hashtag Orlando United today. I'm joined now by News 6's Nadine Yanis, who has been out here all day. And you have had the honor of talking to survivors and law enforcement. These guys, they were working and surviving that night. Right. They have not had time to grieve.
No, they haven't. Those officers were working nonstop, several shifts. The survivors, many of them were in the hospital, and they tell me that they just wish that they were together with the community when those vigils were happening 1 year ago. That is why they're back here today, and many of them still struggling say they came here surrounded by all of this, hoping it'll help them heal.
There's no hesitation. We just ran and help the first people we can come in contact with.
Orlando officer Allison Clark was one of the first to run up to Pulse as victims were running out.
You could hear the last few gunshots as we were approaching the front of the club.
And 1 year later, she's back at the corner today, saying this last year has been a struggle.
No, I can't believe it's already been a year.
But with tears in her eyes and a crack in her voice, she says seeing rainbows instead of crime scene tapes surround the building is healing.
A year ago, I wasn't able to be with my community and to mourn with the gay community. And being here today and doing all these things is going to be very healing for me in my recovery from PTS.
I just feel like I have to be here.
And that's why survivor Jeff Xavier is here today.
You know, I'm being strong as I can and being strong with my, fellow survivors. I got to be here for them, and some don't want to come or can't come, and I want to show my support in their honor as well.
He was shot 4 times and bled out for hours inside the club. He never thought he'd actually be able to make it to the 1 year mark.
Now that I'm better, I'm able to get out and take part in some things, and at least show my love and show my support as well.
And you heard Jeff there. He said that many of the survivors weren't able to come out here today. And you can't even imagine. We feel it just being here now. And even though it's been a year, and for us it's remembrance, for these survivors, they're still living with this every day. And for some, it was just too hard to make it out today.
And they will live with this for the rest of their lives. And we have to keep in mind that everyone grieves differently.
Right.
Nadine Yanis, thank you for that report. We want to send it back out now to Lake Eola with Matt and Lisa.
Ginger and Nadine, thank you. And we are joined now by Orlando Mayor Buddy Dyer, who has been a part of all of the tributes that have been going on today. He is joining us now to talk a little bit about what we can expect tonight. We just saw that live shot from Pulse. Are you surprised so far by anything? We've seen really an outpouring of people all day just coming by Pulse, coming by Lake Eola.
You know, I can't say surprised. Pleased and proud would probably be more the emotion. The number of people that turned out for the family event last night at 2 a.m., or I guess that was actually this morning, and then at 11 o'clock. And many of the family members and survivors that were there for one or both of those events had not been back to Pulse. So you can just imagine the emotion that they were feeling about being in that location.
What are your thoughts on the emotions that we're trying to convey to folks who are at home, what it feels like to be out here? Is it a somber tone? Is it I'm kind of getting the impression that people just don't want to be alone today.
You know, I think it's more of a reflective tone. It's remembering and honoring the lives of the 49 that were lost, but there's also pride in our community and how we responded. I've come to learn a lot about terrorist type of events or mass casualty events, and most communities respond first with fear and then with hatred and anger, and instead, from the opening moments, our community has responded with love, compassion, and the unity that you can see out here tonight.
For so many people, it's hard to believe that it's already been 1 year, but during that year, our community really has changed a lot. You mentioned briefly talking about the terrorism threats. Orlando, I would say, is stronger and better prepared and more united than ever before.
I would say we're stronger, we're better prepared. I will say this, though, I don't think we're a different community than we were on June the 12th, because if you're not a community that's already embracing diversity and inclusion and fairness, it's hard to conjure that up and become that community in the wake of a crisis. So I'm very proud of that community that we were before June the 12th as well.
We are all very proud. Mayor Buddy Dyer, thank you so much for taking a few minutes on a very busy day.
Yeah.
I'm sure busy schedule for you.
Thank you for braving the weather and being out here to cover this.
It's our pleasure. Thank you, Mayor. All of these ceremonies really started, as Mayor Dyer said, at 1 or 2 in the morning over at Pulse Nightclub. We want to get you back out to Ginger Gadsden live at Pulse to tell us more about everything that's been happening there today. Ginger?
Yeah, Matt and Lisa, so much happening out here at Pulse Nightclub, where the 49 souls, angels as we call them, lost their lives. But we also have to remember that they have family members who want to make sure that they are not forgotten. I'm going to bring in News 6's Eric Sandoval now, and you've been talking with those family members. Tell me a little bit about what they're doing to make sure that their loved ones are not forgotten in all of this.
Well, you know, you just heard Mayor Dyer talking about the private ceremony that happened behind these fences here very early this morning. I actually got to witness that ceremony. On the inside, there was a lot of emotion. On the outside, there was actually a big gathering of people. One man in particular actually lost his best friend 3 months after the shooting, after surviving it.
He was one of the angels who together created a wall around Pulse Nightclub this morning, allowing friends and family to grieve in private.
It's very emotional, but at the same time, it's a very healing process.
Jim McDermott says he is still healing from the sudden loss of his dear friend. Chris Broadman survived the shooting at Pulse Nightclub last year, but 3 months later, he suffered a brain aneurysm and died. Last night marked 9 months since his death, and McDermott wiped away tears as he says he took time to reflect.
You just think of the people that you love, and I was thinking of Chris the entire time, and all the happy memories and all the love that we shared and all the great memories and moments, because that's what life is all about.
McDermott says he is proud of the city of Orlando. He says he's proud of how the city came together during a very dark hour. Now, he says it's time for everyone to be angels. Angels to each other.
We're going to take care of our survivors. That's our focus now. We're going to simply take care of our survivors and move forward and learn the lessons we need to learn.
Now, Jim McDermott told me that he actually plans on being an Angel again tonight. He's actually going to be at Lake Eola. And, you know, I asked him, how do you prepare for this? You know, especially people who want to go to this ceremony tonight. And he said, just be prepared to feel a lot of emotions, and also be prepared to feel emotions that you didn't expect that you'd be feeling.
Well, he is a great friend, because it is so easy to forget and move on, but he is not letting that happen.
Absolutely not. A lot of love.
Yeah, Eric Sandoval, thank you for that. We're going to send it back out to Lake Eola, where those ceremonies will be happening. Matt and Lisa?
Yeah, about 45 minutes or so away from those ceremonies beginning. Thank you very much, Ginger. We appreciate it. The city is preparing for tens of thousands of people. You know, weather depending, we'll see how many people actually show up.
Yeah, this weather has not been ideal, to say the least. We've certainly been dealing with some light rain for several hours now. Heard some thunder earlier. Hopefully it'll kind of clear up just a bit for us. Our coverage, of course, continues, though, here on air and online. We're live streaming today's ceremonies. If you cannot make it down here to Lake Eola, you can also find our special tribute to each of the victims. That's at clickorlando.com.
A lot of great information on there. Well, we do have other news happening today. We want to send it back into Eric Von Anken, who is dealing with all of that from the studio. Eric, back to you.
Yeah, Matt, Lisa, thank you. A lot going on tonight. A popular gym chain investigated by the health department. Why they're worried about Legionnaire's disease at 2 different facilities. Tom.
All right, Eric, we're still tracking the rain in the heart of downtown. Slow-moving, soaking showers are the norm. It's been that way for the last 4 days. It's that way again tonight. I'll be right back to pinpoint these showers and talk about when they wrap up and look ahead to tomorrow.
And we're following breaking news on a deadly house fire just within the last 90 minutes. Detectives confirmed they have now found a 3rd victim, and they suspect that this was murder. What else we've uncovered in this case? Next at 6. You're watching News 6 at 6, getting results. We will be right back.
Live with Matt Austin, Lisa Bell, Julie Broughton. Weather with Chief Meteorologist Tom Sorrells and Meteorologist Candace Campos. And sports with Ping. This is News 6 at 6. Getting results.
A heartbreaking new turn tonight in the search for a missing 9-year-old boy in Malabar. Brevard County detectives say that they have found now 3 bodies inside his home. That's where little Sebastian Meacham, his mother, and her sister were last seen alive. This is James Sparvero is on Atz Boulevard tonight with more on this investigation.
We know something bad happened in the house that morning. Malabar firefighters find 3 bodies buried in the debris of a burned Atz Road home. The victims include 9-year-old Sebastian Meacham, a 3rd grader at Pineapple Cove Classical Academy in Palm Bay.
It's a very sad case, just a terrible thing.
The Brevard County Sheriff's Office says the other victims are the boy's mother, 39-year-old Chrissy Hughes, and her sister, Linda Woods. Deputies now suspect the mother's husband, 39-year-old Tony Hughes, murdered the 3, set the house on fire to cover it up, and made a run for it.
It appears there was some marital problems between Mr. and Mrs. Hughes. We believe that this may have stemmed from that.
Deputies say Hughes' truck and boat trailer were found at an Indian River boat ramp 8 miles south. Deputies say the Coast Guard later found the 18-foot motorboat 7 miles offshore of Sebastian Inlet. No one was on it, but blood was found. Right now, deputies tell News 6 the Coast Guard is searching the area around where the boat was found. It's believed Hughes may have killed himself on that boat. In Malabar, I'm James Sparvero, News 6.
New worries tonight for LA Fitness. The state health department is investigating 4 cases of Legionnaire's disease and their ties to the popular gym. News 6 has learned the state sent inspectors on Friday to 2 locations to gather water samples in the locker rooms. Those facilities include the gym on South Kirkman Road and South Orange Blossom Trail in Orlando. Symptoms of the disease are similar to other forms of pneumonia, including coughing and shortness of breath. Right now, it's not clear whether or not the 4 patients picked it up from the gyms, but they are all members of 1 of 2 of those facilities in question. All right, Chief Meteorologist Tom Sorrells back now. The rain holding off on downtown Orlando for the most part, the heavy stuff where all these people are gathered, tens of thousands of people tonight potentially.
Yeah, I don't want to wash them out, and I don't think we will. These storms are slow moving, but in a minute, Eric, you'll see the lightning kind of went west. And that's what really would run people away.
Yeah.
That's the dangerous stuff. Let's talk about the weather story for tonight. Heading into the evening hours, the rain really does move out. Most of it will dry out by 8 o'clock. I can't get rid of it by 7, but we slow it down. The lightning kind of goes away. After that, will just be mostly cloudy. Now, during the day tomorrow, dry in the morning, midday hours look good. The afternoon, though, almost just like today. The entire week ahead, kind of a repeat each and every day. Our rain chances are above normal, and in the afternoons, a lot of it washes away. Here's a look at the visible satellite image. See what I'm talking about? Look how much moisture there is. All of this exploding from Dallas to Houston, through Louisiana, all the way right into your backyard. The texture of the clouds show you exactly what's happening. The big push comes in and kaboom, washing out to the western side of Orange County on into Lake County right now. You see the big push all goes west. Follow the red zones. See these? Those are your heavier showers. And now the light stuff is washing out, raining out, slowly dying right over top of Orange and Seminole counties. That's all good. I mean, I'd rather it not rain downtown, but the gods were with us this afternoon as the heavy storms erupted east, kind of died out over us, then exploded to the west. So it could have been a lot worse than it has been here this afternoon. From Winter Park to Orlando, all the way out to the 417. You see the activity right downtown. Lake Eola, the big celebration is all over here. The big observation of this somber day we have going on. It's raining at 6/100ths of an inch per hour right now on top of the Lake Eola bandshell. That's where Matt and Lisa are set up, and everyone's going to gather tonight within the next couple of hours. You see the light rain is there, but as I widen the view back out, bigger rain is happening all over the place, from Winter Park to Altamont Springs, and especially up north here through Marion County, Ocala, Bellevue. You've both been dealing with heavy rain here in the last hour, but even your rain is beginning to slow down. We've had 93 lightning strikes in the last hour in the entire viewing area, so that's not one of those crazy, big, explosive afternoons. 77 is the current reading in Daytona Beach. Right now in Orlando, we're at 76 degrees. Melbourne, 83. Ocala with the rain, 73. Let me take you now hour by hour. By 8 p.m. tonight, all of this stuff is pulled away from downtown Orlando, and it's become a West Coast event. That is all good for you if you're going downtown or if you have something to do outside somewhere else. During the day tomorrow, what does that look like? Hey, that looks like today. It's kind of a repeat. Back in the old days, we'd say, that's a carbon copy. Now I'll just say that's a copy, kind of like what we went through today. And Wednesday looks like another round of heavy rain. Tonight's low in Orlando goes to 73 degrees. Here's tomorrow.
Your forecast brought to you by Del Air Heating and Air Conditioning.
All right, now, first thing in the morning, 75. By lunchtime, 82. And the daytime high approaches 90, maxing out at 89. Here's the week ahead. We go to a daytime high tomorrow of 89. Rain chance is 60%. On Wednesday, a high of 90. Rain chance still 60%. By Thursday, rain chances all the way up to 70%. Friday's high, 88. Saturday, 89. And Father's Day, Sunday, the high is still 88 with a really good shot at rain. Don't go away. We will be right back.
Kind of weird.
Going to take a break from our Pulse coverage tonight and talk about sports.
Yeah. Finals tonight. Tom, what do you got? You got the Cavs? You going to go Cavs at Golden State?
No.
Okay.
You know who wins this.
Yeah. Okay. Canyon Road, tonight's Game 5 NBA Finals matchup. Golden State leading the best-of-7 series 3-1. It seems the Cavs are given no shot in winning on the road tonight. The buzz has cooled off a bit, but never count out LeBron James. That's all I'm saying. At the top of the hour here at 7 o'clock, a number of young baseball players are about to have life-changing experiences. The annual Major League Baseball draft takes place. That's a couple of years ago. Lake Mary's Brendan Rodgers got drafted. That right there is Orlando's very own Logan Warmoth, is a star that will be shined up brighter tonight. The shortstop from North Carolina is slated to be drafted in some mock drafts, 23rd overall, possibly to the Los Angeles Dodgers. There he is playing this year for North Carolina. 23rd overall is a big deal. Warmoth ranked as the country's third best shortstop. His brother is Justin, our News 6 morning anchor. Now, I came to News 6 10 years ago next month. I remember getting a call asking if I have ever heard of Logan Warmoth. He was playing Pop Warner football then for Lake Brantley. T. Taylor worked here for a long time, covered the team at Disney December '07. Here was the first time I mentioned Logan on the air. He's Wide World of Sports today. Pop Warner Super Bowl tournament. Kids from around the country. Lake Brantley and White playing a team from Texas. That's Damon Haker right there. Nice run. Now, I want you to pay attention closely here. Stop eating your dinner. Watch this pass to Logan Warmoth. This is an unbelievable catch.
Oh, righty.
Lake Brantley won today at Disney World 44-12. Cool stuff. Sorrells is still laughing the same way. You're like the laugh track. Say, look at him. President Trump today did what every other president would do. He invited whoever won a national championship to the White House. That would be Clemson invited the football team there winning the national championship.
They're on their phones. Look at them.
And they're all like, who are they texting, those guys in the background? Really?
Mama, look at me. I'm on TV.
Have some respect. You're at the White House, for crying out loud.
Yeah, and the president's right in front of you.
Evan Hazley from First Academy could go as high as 8th in tonight's Major League Baseball draft.
Wow. Good luck to him.
You got it.
Bing, thank you. Right after the break, we go back out to Matt and Lisa in downtown Orlando for our continuing Pulse 1 year later coverage. We'll be right back.
Live right now at downtown in Lake Eola Park here as we're waiting for a ceremony that's 30 minutes away. It will honor the 49 people we lost at Pulse nightclub and those who survived as well. All of it taking place, weather permitting.
Yes, well, we have been out here all afternoon, and people have been braving the light rain. The good news is, as Tom Sorrells has been telling us, we don't expect any lightning, so we'll just take the light rain. Of course, the crowds are starting to build. This event expected to get underway at 7 o'clock for tonight's special ceremony, and of course, you can watch it here on air and on ClickOrlando.com.